Today's Thursday, September 25th, 2008, and I'm in Arches National Park, and you can see why behind me here. This is Pine Tree Arch. It's one of several thousand arches. I don't think most of them are quite as dramatic as this one is. This is Tunnel Arch. This is Landscape Arch. This is Partition Arch. This is the Double O Arch. This is Private Arch. This is the South Window Arch. And then this is the North Window Arch. This is the Turret Arch. This is Double Arch. But yeah, you could see you could really drive a truck or two trucks through this thing if there were a paved road underneath. It's pretty huge. So you can see there's a trail that goes straight up a vein of rock here. I'm up at the top. And gonna keep going here. So this is Navajo Arch, and this is one that they let you walk under once you climb up the trail here. Okay, this is one of the cooler things I've seen today. It's a trail that goes right across the top edge of this rock, and there's a huge canyon down on the right. The left has an equally great view. Very cool stuff. This is Private Arch. I can see why they call this one Private Arch. It's more difficult to get to. There's a little bit of a strenuous hike that goes off as a difficult trail, and definitely worthwhile making the extra hike. This one is off in the middle of nowhere, not too many people on this trail. So I should mention the main navigational point around here are these rock cairns. These stacks of rock. It can be hard to see the trail kind of switching between sand and rock in a lot of places. So here's another one. We've got these little rock cairns. Some of them are really tiny. So I'm at Double Arch, and here you can clearly see there are like two types of sandstone here. There's this like silty mud stuff that was around first, and then this other layer of sandstone kind of settled on top as an ocean or some sort of river moved away millions of years ago. So this particular arch, the Double Arch, there's one right on top of me here and another over here. In this open area, this is at one point covered with rock and then it eroded downward. So these big boulders here were at some point years and years ago up in there. Just like a pothole is what they describe it as here.
What caused us to go from deposition to erosion is we uplifted. In other words, we went from getting everybody else's crud to being the disher outer of crud, essentially, because we're now high. And what caused that, very simply, is North America, South America, Asia, Africa, we move constantly. And so right now we are actually shifting. Think about this a second. We're kind of shifting that way.
So today I did a 7.2 mile hike around the Devil's Garden section of the park. Now I finished a little guided ranger hike. I'm here in the Windows section of the park, and just on one of the primitive trails that just kind of runs around the back of the otherwise paved trail area and goes back to the parking lot. But beautiful out here, very hot in the daytime. Didn't see a lot of wildlife. See a lot of little tracks for small animals, like rodents and stuff. You do see a lot of chipmunks running around, and tons and tons of tiny little lizards. But yeah, it's definitely it's cooled off a lot now. I'm in the shade behind some large rocks, but probably head out of here before sunset. So I'm going to call it a day here at Arches National Park.